Welcome to the Never Seen It podcast, the only podcast called Never Seen It worth listening to tonight. With us is Mr. Arnie, the one-man party, a.k.a. Arnold Callego. Of course, Mr. Daily Dares, a.k.a. Filipino Grigio, a.k.a. Alex Callego, the brothers Callego. And a return guest, 3 times in a row now, Miss Amber Wyatt, a.k.a. that Denver girl, Millennial Matrix Media. She does a lot of stuff media-related, so check her out on those different social media pages. Amber, right off the top, is there anything you want to plug really quick? Anything you're working on currently you want to get out of the way right now?
In September, the magazine that I work for is doing a cocktail series. So all month they've been having me go to cocktail lounges and write about my experience and stuff. So it's going to be really cool. I have been to some really cool high-end places, so I would definitely check that out.
Nice.
What's the most interesting drink you've had so far? Or have you not done anything yet?
I remember all these names of all these drinks, but there was one that was in a bathtub. It was it was a little bathtub, almost like a Watney or something, and the drink and the ice was in there, and the gummy bears were in the bathtub, and it had a straw in it.
Oh, that's funny.
Some gin drink.
Nice. Well, you'll have to drop the link to that once that's out, and we'll be glad to share that on the social medias.
That's cool.
But tonight, we're discussing the movie, and I believe it was you, Amber, who picked this movie, The Fifth Element.
Major Dallas, you're selected for a mission of the utmost importance.
What mission?
Save the world.
The 1997 film directed by Luc Besson. In 2257, a taxi driver is unintentionally given the task of saving a young girl who's part of the key that will ensure the survival of humanity. So, The Fifth Element, I believe, Arnold, you're the only one here who hasn't seen it. But before we get to that, Amber, tell us really quick, why did you choose this movie? Ah, perfect timing.
That is one of my favorite.
Go ahead.
Can y'all hear that when the message come through? My bad.
Yeah, I heard it just now.
This is one of my favorite movies. I love Lilu, and I used to think it's Mila Jovovich or something. Am I saying it right? She was so hot. Her and Angelina Jolie. When I was coming up, I thought they were so hot. So I was obsessed with this movie, and it's just so imaginative. I love that kind of stuff. It's just you know what I mean? Futuristic, but even sometimes people can do it in the past where it's just a different world. I like that. It's a different world.
And Luc Besson, I was looking at his filmography. He did one of my other favorite movies, Leon, the hired killer.
Leon the Professional?
The Professional.
Leon the Professional. The poster on Letterboxd just says Leon, but yeah, Leon. But then he did one of the worst movies I've ever seen, which is Lucy. Did you guys ever see Lucy?
The one with Scarlett Johansson?
ScarJo.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually kind of didn't mind that one. I kind of got what they were trying to do, but yeah, I could see why it was so critically panned.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't just watch it and get mesmerized?
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's done so many movies, but they're all over the place. I don't know, he did The Valerian City of a Thousand Planets. That was him, but that movie was a huge flop. He did Arthur. He did Dogman. He did Dracula. He did I didn't know he did a Dracula movie. Such an interesting filmography he has. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is probably his more famous movie, maybe closely followed by Leon. But, yeah, good stuff. I feel like there was nothing like this in the late 90s, right? You had this in 97, and then you had The Matrix a couple years later. And I feel like, as far as sci-fi goes, big sci-fi from that era, I don't know if there was anything as distinct as The Fifth Element and The Matrix, but we're talking about The Fifth Element, obviously. So, yeah, good stuff. I mean, you got Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, Gary Oldman, Ian Holm, Chris Tucker, who is in an unforgettable role, Luke Perry.
Luke Perry,
so many
Dylan
movies.
McKay.
Yeah.
Is that a wrestler?
No, that's his character on Beverly Hills 90210.
The funny thing is, Luke Perry's son did go on to become a pro wrestler.
Oh.
His name is Jack Perry. Yeah, his son.
Huh.
He's known as, when he first started out, he was known as Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And he'd come out to, I can't remember the name of the song, but it was
Oh, I know that song.
That song, you know?
I love that song.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him. Such a small
Not
world.
WWE.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, he was in AEW.
I just got to go. I just went to AEW. They were here at Mission Power.
Oh yeah,
It
what'd
was
you
sick.
think?
oh,
I
really?
saw what's her name? The one I like
Yeah.
Tony Storm. The
Oh,
black
she's
and
my
white,
favorite.
And like I got to
She's
see her. It
gorgeous.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh my gosh.
That's dope.
Yeah,
And then
she's
Bobby
the best.
Lashley came out.
I think right now she's probably
You know
the
the
best.
guys
pro
in the
wrestler.
suits, and one of them was Bobby Lashley.
Oh, the Hurt
Yeah.
Business, the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah,
came out.
yeah. They're cool. They're awesome. Yeah.
We'll have to do. You guys will have to do like some kind of a wrestling thing at some point. You know.
Oh yeah.
Let's,
Have you seen The Wrestler, Amber? Oh,
Alright.
we got to do that movie.
Is that the one with?
or that or the Iron Claw, or the Iron Claw?
Iron
Hey,
Claw's
we can do
great.
the wrestling movie,
Yeah.
and then we can watch Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's another good one.
Oh yeah.
But Besson apparently conceived the story for Fifth Element at 16 years old, and he brought it to the screen over 2 decades later. The iconic bandage bodysuit for Lulu remains a high watermark in cinematic fashion, emphasizing both minimalism and sci-fi flair. Mila Jovovich's fluorescent orange hair, which was meant to be striking, caused significant damage. She eventually wore a wig, introduced subtly after a shower scene to maintain continuity. That's so interesting.
Yeah,
what kind of
just to
chemicals
touch
were
on-
in the hair?
Just to touch on the costuming and the design, Jean-Paul Gaultier, he was the designer for that, and I remember when that came, like a few years later during all the hype during Comic-Con, or not Comic-Con, sorry, got Comic-Con on the brain, Coachella. They would do stuff. Jean-Paul Gaultier and Adidas would always throw a party annually. It was like an after party, and they would just have it hosted at this like secluded. You had to be invite only type of deal, and I was able to go to one, and it was just kind of like, so one of my friends, she was producing the show, the party, right, and this is when I was working at the Ace, and she's like, hey, if you want to go to the Adidas party, just let me know. And then like 3 friends of mine who are in a band, they came into to town. He's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, hey, you want to go to this party? And all of a sudden, like, they had like 4 other people with them, so there was like 8 of us. And like, I called my friend up, and I was like, hey, can you get like 8 of us in? She's like, oh, I can only do you and 3 other people. I go, well, can you do 4 and 4? And she's like, well, let me see what I could do, right? So I go, and I hang up, and then she calls me back, and she's like, okay, just go stand in line, and they'll let me know that you're here. So we have to show up at the Palm Springs Art Museum, right? And there's this big line, and these buses are shuttling everybody to the party. It's the Sinatra Bungalow. That's where it's supposed to be at, right? And we get to the front of the line, and he's like, yeah, I'm on the list. My friend said, my friend was Jesse, who was producing it, and she's like, let me call him. So he called the security, the head of security calls. He gets an answer from him. He's like, she says, Alex and party. And like, is there like a number? And he's like, no, just Alex and party. So it was like me and like the other 7 people, and like people knew, like there's some people who kind of knew me. They were acquaintances, and they were standing in line, and they're like, hey, come on, bud, let me get it. I was like, no, I can't, sorry. I wasn't gonna take advantage of her generosity, but like, it was so funny that, and then so we get there. We get into the party, and you know, I know it's gonna be a wild night already, and I know it because you walk in there, and they're already handing out these like Jean-Paul Gaultier designed beach towels, and I'm like, to each person who is leaving, and like get there, and they have a swimming pool that's in the shape of a musical note, and there's people naked swimming around in the pool.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I see some other friends.
And Arnold was one of them.
Yeah, right. Snoop Dogg was there.
What?
Like he was in a roped off VIP section.
How come you never told me this story? This was in the desert.
I told you it was like. I don't know if I told you the story, but I've told the story.
You just forgot.
Before this
And
was
so we get there.
I said, but did
What's that?
Snoop Dogg's wiener?
Oh, no, he was not participating in the nude swimming. The unfortunately, but like, and then all of a sudden, it's a Jean-Paul Gaultier party, because a couple of my friends who were in bands were there already too, and they're dressed in like costumes that were out of the fulfillment. I was like, wow, whoa, this is Jean-Paul Gaultier, and it was kind of awesome to see that at the same time, because like, they had some wings that are all lit up like that's something straight out of the movie. It was kind of crazy.
Did a lot of people have orange hair?
No.
Oh.
No, unfortunately.
But this is what I love about doing this show, by the way.
Although Lindsay Lohan had locked herself up in a bedroom, and my friend was like trying to figure out a way to get out.
She locked herself like on accident.
Nope. Oh yeah.
That tracks for Lindsay Lohan, I think.
Yeah. This is about in like 2011, 2012. So
when you were starting to tell the story, I thought you were gonna say that. Oh yeah, we went to this party and then we all had to dress like Lilu.
That would have been a sight to behold. I like this show because you'll mention something from a movie and Alex will always be like, well, I was in Portland, Oregon 10 years ago, and it's always a good story. Like this is the beauty of doing this show. But by the way, did you guys ever watch Norm Macdonald on Conan, on old Conan episodes back in the day?
Oh yeah,
seen clips.
There's a joke he does where he uses the name John. I'm not kidding you, Jean-Paul Gaultier, and I thought he completely made it up. But now you're telling me this is a real person, so I'm gonna have to add that in the show notes because that's a pretty great.
I only know Jean-Paul Gaultier once again from American Psycho.
What was the connection there?
Because he's got like these fascinations of like, oh yeah, this is a very nice suit and all these nice glasses and stuff, and then like that one guy got some. Oh, who's?
Let's see Paul Allen's car.
Yeah, he's like, where'd you get that suit? And he's like, who made that suit? And he's like, Jean-Paul Gaultier. I don't know.
And he's like, I don't remember that moment, but that sounds right though. I love that movie. Yeah. I'm glad that you've seen that movie because that's a great movie. But as much as I want to quote American Psycho, because I could do that all night, back to reality. No, so one of my other favorite things about this movie is that they built an entire miniature New York. 85 model makers poured in 5 months of high detailed model making to make this movie of a futuristic New York to make this movie, and then they combined it with CGI matte paintings and all that. But I don't know that movies really do it that much. I feel like everything nowadays is just done in CGI. Like you don't see as much model building in movies anymore, and I think that's a shame. So that's one of my favorite aspects of it. But Arnold, I think since you're the only one here who has not seen it and you're fresh off the presses, what are your first reactions? Actually, let me start with this. What was your perception of this movie before you watched it? Okay. Like, what did you know, if anything, about this movie?
So I actually I did watch it a long time ago with Alex, but I really didn't remember anything. The only thing that I remembered was multipass. That I don't know, for whatever reason, that's all I remember. I didn't remember the story or anything, but and just what you said right now. So it just shows my lack of knowledge about like this stuff. So that was all like good models that they just like they built a model and then like they zoomed in on it.
It was a combination of stuff. They do models and then they blend it with computer generated imagery.
Yeah, there's some pretty I mean, for that time, I mean, it was what, 97, so some kind of old school effects there.
Right. More so than nowadays. But like, did you kind of like, what was your thoughts like before you watched it? Like, did you think this looked interesting at all, or did it look weird to you?
No, so I must have started watching it on TV or something because like a while back, because I was like, wait, this looks familiar, and but then I had only watched up to like maybe like the first 15 minutes, and then and that was it, and because I remember the part with like Luke Perry, because I remember seeing it and I was like, wait, what? Luke Perry's in this?
The Luke Perry?
The Dylan McKay? Yeah. He has like the forever model face. You know how people were like, all right, smile. Okay, yeah, have your eyebrows up. Stop smiling. And
he's got a very serious face card,
and
right?
he's got that little raspy voice. But then but he was like the artist drawing all that stuff. Anyways, I thought they were gonna bring him back on for whatever reason, but like that was it. It was just at the beginning.
And for those of you watching and listening that are under the age of 30, Luke Perry was kind of a hot commodity in the 90s. Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah.
That was the name of the show.
Yeah.
90210. 90210. That was a hot show in that era. Like, I don't know. You got to understand, like, we're talking early 90s until whenever that show ended.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the hottest shows on TV at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, 90s was like peak teenage drama, and then it sort of dropped off. But Luke Perry was probably like one of the few cast members that did pretty well for himself even after that show ended.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, him and Shannon Doherty.
Shannon Doherty, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't she in Charmed, or who am I thinking about?
Yeah, she was
There
in
was a few
Charmed.
girls. That was her in Charmed. Okay.
Yeah, but I guess she got ousted from that show just because she was hard to work with.
Ooh.
What
Oh,
I hear.
yeah. Well,
Oh, both of them. R.I.P.
Oh,
Damn.
there's two reasons you would get ousted in Hollywood. Either you were hard to work with, or you refused to kowtow to Harvey Weinstein. Unfortunately. I mean, it's sad, but
Hey.
that's the reality of
how
that
it was.
business at the time. You know. But
Oh.
anyway, but Luke Perry, yeah,
Yeah.
Luke Perry was a hot.
I know.
but
I'm going on
sorry,
about
so
him,
you're-
and he had like 10 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he's like the main character or something. If it weren't for him, you know. Wait, if it weren't for him, then
Well, if they do a sixth element, it'll star Luke Perry, I think. We'll
Oh.
see. But hold on. So now that you've seen it, give me your initial free wave thoughts
yeah.
on it.
So I thought, you know, it was very. If they would have changed the music a little bit, some of the music sound effects that it sounded almost like a little fun, a little like playful. But if they changed it, it could have all of a sudden been like if it was more serious, it could have been for that time like more sci-fi, more dramatic. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an interesting choice.
It's interesting you say that. I kind of like the campy vibe, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know. Like it for me, it works. But that's interesting you say
Yeah.
that.
This was like
what
a
did you
very
think of?
This was like a very 90s film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the music choices, even like the aesthetic of the future, you know, it's very like, you know, like what people in the 90s thought the future would be like, you know, like weird hair, like even more so, because like, you know how like in older TV shows and films, they had that sort of thing, right? Weird hair, like jutting out everywhere. But this seemed to be a little bit more taken to the next level, you know, with the fashion and everything, you know. So
I just feel like we were robbed of flying cars. Back to the Future promised it. This movie promised it. So many sci-fi movies from before the 2000s promised us flying cars, and
Jetsons.
we were robbed of that. But
Bitch.
the Jetsons promised it. Yeah, that's the one thing we didn't
You
get.
know, in the Jetsons, how they
but
have that
Arnold,
tube that like you just like travel around in, like you don't even need a car.
oh
The
yeah,
mom-
the
mom
pneumatic
comes up through the thing.
tube
That would've been
travel
cool. It's like
system.
riding in a slide all the time. Like I want those. I want those to come out.
Yeah.
Dude, they have those at Costco. They have them at the cash registers,
Oh.
and I think that's the craziest thing that any store can have is
are you
pneumatic
talking about like
tubes
those
to
like to send up
Yeah.
like deposits and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have pneumatic
Yeah.
tubes. Like no other retailer does that. It's like such
Yeah.
a quirky thing. But Arnold, really
yeah.
quick, tell me, did you notice that neither Bruce Willis or Gary Oldman have any scene or any interaction in the entire movie? Did you notice that?
Oh.
Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah, there was one part
Did I
where
just blow
they
your mind?
almost did, like when they're getting off the elevator.
They almost did, yeah. When he's walking out and then Gary Oldman walks, right behind
man,
him.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
I know. See, this is why we do this show.
Is that significant?
I don't know, Alex. Let me defer to you because you're the deep thinker of the group. What do you think about that? Because I still don't fully understand. I think it's cool, but I don't fully like. What do you make of that?
I like that idea of the protagonist and the antagonist never truly meeting, as this sort of thing where the idea of the threat doesn't necessarily have to mean like that they ever have to meet face to face. Like think about it this way: politics. There's there's say a president that's doing bad things, and
What? No, there isn't.
yeah, that kind of stuff happens. Right?
Blowing my mind right now.
And it's
That's a thought crime.
Yeah.
It's more of an existential thing than it is this sort of, but that like Gary Oldman represents that sort of existential threat, but he's just more so an arm, a limb, per se, to the actual threat that's going to happen at the very end, right? He's representative of that. So it's kind of like, it's unnecessary really for that sort of thing to really connect, and I'm fine with that. I'm totally and the way that Luc Besson did it was just so seamless. Like you don't. That's why when you bring up the question, it's like, oh yeah, they never really do meet, right? It's like,
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And it works. Like you don't even notice it, but like in a good way. Like Corbin Dallas is the hero. Zorg, is that his name? I'm probably getting his name.
Zorg is
Zorg is the bad guy.
Yeah, Zorg.
And in most classically told good versus evil, like eventually Luke meets Darth Vader. Eventually, I guess Frodo doesn't really meet Sauron, but you know what I'm saying. Like normally they meet. In this movie, they don't. And they have that quick little moment that Arnold mentioned, and then they still don't ever actually come face to face. So that's an interesting aspect of this movie anyway. And we need to do like a carousel of all movies where bad guys and good guys don't ever meet. I think that'd be interesting. But anyway,
Really cool.
yeah, and yeah. So we were talking about fashion earlier. Why do you guys think that that Lilu's character's outfit is so iconic? Do you think it's because it's like skimpy or whatever, or do you think there's like, is it just because it's futuristic and it feels part of the story? Like, what do you guys think about that? Amber, I'll defer to you. What do you think about her costume and how iconic, why it's
one
iconic?
of the most interesting things about this movie is the personification of he eats every time.
Yeah, what? Let's get this out of the way. What do you have in this time, Arnold? What is that? Is that pasta?
Sorry. Oh no, it's a papusa.
No, I'm just picking.
No, you're good.
It's from it's not from a restaurant. It's from Maria out in DHS out in the hood. Yeah, and she made it from her own kitchen, and
Nice.
so
Nice.
it's what?
What kind of papusa is it?
Oh. Yeah.
Arnold's got. That's the producer talking in his ear. Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
Amber.
think about other movies. Let me see if I can think of
Like Princess
No,
Leia's
not like
outfits
that.
in
It's just
Star Wars are pretty iconic.
for example, there's personification of things that typically in other movies wouldn't be personified. So Lilu, for example, is an element. She's not really a human being. So you have to think about it that way, as well as the thing, the planet
That's true.
thing. You know what I'm talking about? That, doesn't he call? The planet can talk. It's even the planet is personified. So I think that's why she's dressed like that, because like she's not really a human. Like if you really think about it, and the like analogy or like the comparison that I'm trying to make is like, I think that in other movies, like of this, what makes this unique and what makes this interesting is that they did that, because there are other movies where like, I think like what's the one like with the like, it might be like National Treasure or something, but like they're like looking for this thing that like opens this thing, and it's like none of those are humans, or none of those are like actors. Like none of those are portrayed by an actor. They're like
Right.
a book or like a code or like a scripture or like something like that.
Isn't that known as a
I don't
MacGuffin?
know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's just like a literary device where it's like,
Nothing?
that's the thing the characters are looking for, but the story is more than that. It's not about that. It's about the why. It's about the how. It's
Kind of
about
like the suitcase in
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
Exactly. That's another great example. It's not about the suitcase. It's about the characters and why they need to get the suitcase, and what the suitcase sort of represents. There's a theory, and I won't get too sidetracked here, but this is because I love Pulp Fiction. There's a theory that that it's Marcellus Wallace's soul, because when you see the back of his head, he's got a Band-Aid. They're supposed to say like that's where like the devil takes your soul from the back of your head. Very interesting theory. And then other people say, oh, it's the jewels from Reservoir Dogs, and I don't think that works as well.
Yeah, I still never figured it
But-
out. Just let my imagination.
And we may never figure it out. Even Tarantino has been very coy about it. I think he's said that like it is whatever you make it to be.
So
So
yeah, think about her, like her body too. Like she's not like Wonder Woman or nothing. Like she's slim. She's a human, but she's just like, she could be more human. She could be more human, but it's like that's not really what it's about. And
Right.
like that's why I think that she's not wearing like, like Bruce Willis wears like that orange tank top. It's like she's not wearing clothes like that because she's not like him. She's something else.
right.
Yeah, she's like that machine that
Yeah.
creates her. I think like that whole machine, it creates human-esque bodies for whatever it gathers its DNA from, or the like, what do they call it, the memory cells? Like it was like the memory cells that like help create not just the body, or like it like so the body is just a vessel, but to
Right.
house all these memories that this one hand originally
Right.
held. So
And was it taken from those big things like the handle that at the very
Yeah.
beginning? It was from one of
Yeah.
those,
Or one of them,
those
anyways.
things.
Like, she is the
Oh,
fifth
okay.
element. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's like she's the same thing as like water,
Mm,
air,
mhm.
wind, fire. Like that's what she is. She's not really, if you think about it.
yeah.
And talk about that casting, right? Like Mila Jovovich just has a certain look. I don't know that any other actress at the time could have pulled that off the way she did. Like she just has a look.
Even
right? She has that sort of
even the
je ne
language
sais quoi.
that she was speaking, like,
Yeah.
dang, that's
Which was a made-up language that she helped develop along with Luc Besson. I didn't know that. I thought she was just speaking Russian the whole time. All these years I assumed, oh, she's just speaking Russian, but no, she's speaking like a made-up language, which is great.
they never show it in Russia to get it translated.
Oh, they show it only in Putin's chambers, though, not in anywhere.
But then
else.
they changed that to like Mandarin or something.
Yeah.
I think the thing about Mila Jovovich is like she's model pretty, but she was smarter than that. So she didn't just take the model route. Like she's an excellent actor, and like she, like you said, like developed a language for this, and like is part of like being a producer. Like she's like that's why she's so unique, because like I feel like usually you have one or the other, and she's like that pretty.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I
Yeah,
feel like
I mean-
I feel like the in this whole movie the casting was like almost perfect for every
Yeah.
single role. Like I thought, like you look at the president played by Tiny Zeus Lister. On paper, it shouldn't make sense,
Yeah.
but it does. He makes perfect sense for the president that he's representing. The kind of like hard nosed, take no like shit kind of like president, and then you get like Chris Tucker, playing that flamboyant, ambiguous sort of sexually character, because like you see him do like have intercourse with a woman, like you don't see it on screen, but then he like obviously has there's these moments that I feel like that he's kind of also like shows that he's kind of bi,
Right.
I feel like that might be
So,
the way that
yeah.
like they predicted things will be in the future, like more like maybe there's like a space for men to be more flamboyant in the future, but not now.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah, they even show them
like
like
it's
like,
like
their
Go ahead, Arnold.
they even show them like with their nails colored. I think even Zorg, he didn't have his nails colored, but they were like, it had what's that, clear? It was clear.
clear coat.
Yeah.
Clear coat
Clear
on
coat.
his nails.
Yeah.
And which
Yeah,
kind of now is
but
you see a lot more people
think
doing
we're
that.
headed-
A lot more guys doing that.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody was just like sexually
Yeah.
fluid, like within their sexuality. It's like, yeah, it's like it within the context of a '90s film, it still felt like very binary, but in a forward-thinking sense, like possibly how Luc Besson wanted it to be, like it in the future, this would feel like a
Yeah.
normal thing, right?
Yeah. That's a good point. He sort of like helped redefine, like, in a way, like showing like what masculinity and femininity can be, in an age where we're not worried about gender roles and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I read that Prince was supposed to play that part, and for whatever reason they couldn't get him, so Chris Tucker got the part, and I think it works better with Chris Tucker, because he just brings the energy he brings to that character.
And
so
think
good.
about it too. Lilu, the character, they don't really say that she's a she or a he. Really, they see
Right.
a body, and they instantly think woman, but she doesn't say, like Lilo, the character, doesn't specifically say that I'm a woman. I'm the fifth element. That's all she
Right.
says. She doesn't like.
She does that
Does
amazing
it,
laugh
She doesn't
that I
designate
love
a
so much.
sexuality to
Exactly.
herself.
Yeah, I love the laugh.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, but Arnold, let me go back to you now for a second. You watched a lot of movies, right? You watched The Good Guys versus Bad Guys.
Yeah.
What do you think of Gary Oldman
Sorry.
as? Perfect timing. Someone's pie is ready. What do you think about Gary Oldman as the bad guy? Like, how did that strike you, Arnold?
You're kind of like a dumb bad guy, or like always. I don't know how many times he opens a suitcase. He's like, "There's nothing in it," But they didn't show his face until like a little bit later, and they just showed like the back of his head, right? And it wasn't.
Yeah.
And he almost seemed Asian, like just because of the maybe the suit that he was wearing. It seemed to me, especially
The
then he had
haircut.
that one Asian guy that was like following him and asking him, I forget what it was, like 500,000. He's like 1 million. He's like 1 million. All right. Then it can't. There's kind of a twist because like then he has like this like Southern accent or like Southern draw, or like not an
Yeah.
accent that I would have thought, but like
Yeah.
it's a,
It is a bit of a Southern twang.
yeah.
And I like that scene. What's that scene where he's like talking about the little robots that are running around, and he's like, "You see that thing? Somebody had to make that thing, and the person that had to make that thing had to," and like that whole monologue was so great. Like he's just him explaining that to him in a very, very like I don't know, pedantic way. But
Yeah.
one thing that really creeped me out about his character in general was just like that black stuff that drips down his.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What is that, by the way? Is that hair dye, or is that? When
no,
I
I
was a
think-
kid, I thought it was blood.
get it.
I thought it
Yeah,
was blood.
I
But it's not.
think that it's it was kind of like a blood-like substance.
You know what I think? That you know how that planet is black, right? I think he's like like a cousin of the planet, but he's personified too. Like inside of him is that stuff because
Oh.
that's what he's made of.
Ah.
But he's got like a facade.
Oh.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I could see that.
The-
Yeah, because but it happens when he's under duress, though. Remember when he's on that
Here's the
phone
thing.
call and it's dripping down.
Here's
He's
the
just
thing, though.
bleeding
Like,
when he stresses out.
what is his motivation to get those stones? Right? He wanted those stones, right? I'm still kind of like I can't really. It's not really clear to me to why he really wanted those stones. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like it would serve him best. It would seem to serve humanity best if, Lilu and that like sort of religious like sect were to have it in hand, to protect everybody from that threat, right? He's a dealer. Is he like some sort of like artifact sort of like thief and just wants to keep this stuff and hoard it? I don't know. That's one of those things that like I still have yet to grasp. Like maybe you guys could explain it to me.
Well, so he's working for the Mr. Shadow character
Okay.
who hired him to get the stones. And if he gets the stones, he gets wealth, he gets power, he gets influence. But beyond that, I mean, yeah, like his whole role was kind of, it almost felt kind of surface level in a sense. I think
But
Gary
Mr.
Oldman as an
Shadow
actor
is-
brings something more to it. But
Mr. Shadow is that threat, right?
I think so.
yeah, well, yeah, because he's the great evil. He needs
Yeah.
the stones to do his bidding or whatever.
Or to like, so he needs the stones to not be in the possession of the people who would like empower the
Yes.
fulfillment, right?
I
the
think
whole
they
Yeah.
want, they're evil. Like they just want
Yeah,
annihilation.
yeah.
Like they don't care if they die too, or like maybe they don't die because they're not human. Like they just want that to happen. Like they just want this thing to eat the world up. Like they don't give a fuck. They're
Oh,
just
yeah.
evil.
because they're not human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
Yeah.
think of any other reason. Just to destroy
So
the
Zorg
world.
isn't human either, then.
Well, you
So
know,
Zorg is just like you said, is a embodiment of another kind of like offshoot of the
think so.
big threat, Mr. Shadow. Or
it's
whatever?
kind of like an analogy I would dare make would be looking at it through a 2025 lens, obviously. Imagine you're a politician these days, and you're in the pockets of big corporate interests that don't want you to pass any sort of, climate change laws, right? I feel like that's kind of what Zorg is. He's just like doing the bidding for somebody more powerful than him because he's an opportunist, and he only cares about money and only cares about power. But it's not even real power, right? Because real power are the forces that are hiring him to do this job, which is to get the stones in this case. So I don't know. To me, he just has like the affectation of like a very like futuristically evil politician. That's my take anyway. But again, that's biased, right? Because I'm looking at it from the lens of modern times. At the time, I don't know. I feel like it would just been, he just would have been another bad guy who's only in it for himself, which is, which you could still say the same about most politicians, right? So that analogy kind of works, I guess, in a way. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and maybe a little obsession that kind of just needs to get the stones to destroy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, 'cause think about it. If you're rich and you're powerful, right, but you still want to keep getting more power, and if that means like selling your soul to the devil, even if it means that eventually like the world's going to be inhospitable, like some people are just that fucking greedy, I think. And I think Zorg is a
Yeah,
representation
it's almost
of
like
that.
an
So.
exaggeration of like things that we deal with. Like they're not that bad. Where like they're gonna let the whole planet mess up, but like they kind of are. Like, but it's not in that way. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of just like this is what's happening. Like, but we're just showing you like a really exaggerated version of it, kind of satirical version of it. But it's like That's pretty close to what's actually happening, like, you know?
Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
always has been.
That's a great point. It's interesting that in the Avengers movies, Thanos wants the five
Yeah.
stones to snap his fingers and make half the living creatures, living beings in the universe die, because he thinks it'll be better overall for the universe. So it's like there's this sort of like running theme I'm noticing here, you know, in movies.
Yeah.
Obtaining
Well, like
the stones, you know.
Well, even Doctor Doom, the character of Doctor Doom in Marvel Comics, the reason why his reasoning for wanting to rule the world, rule the universe, is because he was able to foresee like multiple futures, right? Multiple universes, all the possibilities, right? And in every scenario that he saw, the only good outcomes ever came when he had complete control in his mind, like what he saw, like, and what does that mean? Like the only good outcomes? Well, the good outcomes that like suit your needs or the needs of humankind. And it kind of seemed like, well, that's the big question, you know, who's, you know, who's best suited, you know, like you look at Thanos as a character, and he's like, well, it suits his needs, right? What he wants to see for himself, you know, peace, what peace is, right? But for Doctor Doom, it was actually about, he was like, I will save humanity if you let me control everything. And you know, that's
a great thing to say when your name is Doctor Doom.
yeah, right.
Not Dr. Optimist or Dr. You know, Utopia.
Or
Dr.
Boom.
Doom is going to
Yeah,
save
yeah.
Boom, big
You
boom.
know, early comic book writers are pretty on the nose when it came to their
a little on the nose.
yeah.
Who's going to save humanity? That guy over there. What's his name? Dr. Doom. The guy in the creepy mask with the name Dr. Doom? Okay.
The guy,
I love that.
But in this, there's no real like. Okay, so if the planet, if Earth did get destroyed, so then it's just everything else out there, I guess.
I mean, you know, this movie has like an interdimensional sort of element, I thought. So, you know, it's sort of like that thing where, you know, like the rich are building themselves doomsday bunkers, you know. Maybe like there's like a cosmic, excuse me, a cosmic version of like a doomsday bunker out there, you know. Because the Earth is just one planet of many. Like, you know, if you're a cosmic being, who cares about one
I was
planet?
thinking,
You know what I mean?
if Zord
That's the way
is
I would see
part
it,
of
I
that
guess.
thing, like he just goes back into it, like it just absorbs him, and you know whatever, he goes back to being the ball of whatever he is. Join back
Exactly.
Like Plato or
Yeah.
whatever.
You know.
Yeah. Ball of
Are you
fire.
saying Plato the
Plato,
philosopher
like,
or Plato the?
It would just
the-
come, and then it would
Oh.
take the Earth out, and he would just stick to it and be like, "I'm part of this now." I don't.
Yeah, I thought you said Plato the philosopher. Like, oh, Amber's getting real deep with it. That's good. I like that. No, either way it works though. You know.
Both.
Only philosophers I know is
all
like
right,
Dale
well-
Earnhardt. I'm just. I'm just kidding.
Bruce Lee, which they brought up,
Bruce Lee.
which I thought that was interesting. You know, when they
Which
when
part?
she
Yeah,
was learning
when
martial
she was,
arts, then Bruce Lee
Oh,
comes
yeah.
up. I was like, yeah.
What Arnold? So tell me more. What else? Name one other moment in this entire movie that stood out to you.
Besides the nudity, all right, so I'll probably get into it like later on with the Z rating. So, and we were talking about it before. So I started watching it last night, and I did it to myself. I started eating kettle corn, and you know kettle corn is just that sweet and salty, and you just can't stop. And sugar crashed and fell asleep. and so then yeah, so yeah, that kind of, I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. But
I mean, you know, that's how you. I think that's how you process stories.
That's Arnold being Arnold
I know,
Arnolding.
and he's
right
like
there.
acting
Arnold.
shameful about it. I'm like, dude, I literally want to be you when I grow up. Like, you live the most extravagant life. You're always eating good food and like napping. I'm like, are you a king or what? Like, actually, be like that.
I woke up and I was like, man, I'm just gonna finish this tomorrow. And I went upstairs and I'm like, oh damn, I even forgot a soda in the freezer because I was like, okay, I'm gonna put the soda in the freezer so that way it'd be nice and cold. But then, so I went back down and took it out before it explodes. Which I'm
Arnold, would you say you're an introvert or an extrovert or a hybrid?
I'd say I'm very I'm a hybrid, but a lot more extroverted.
Oh, really?
I'll go in these like I want to be outgoing and do all kinds of stuff, but then when I get tired, I just want to just chill. And
I mean,
we're gonna have to have you
Arnold
take
went
an
out and
Enneagram
partied
test.
during a Comic-Con on a bum leg. So come on.
Oh, that's right.
While Donald and I like went back to the hotel and crashed at like 11.
Yeah, I like that Arnold had more energy on a bum leg than you guys.
it was
Yeah.
it was out of pure passion that I just had to go out and and do it. Be the first time ever in the club with a cane. Actually, I actually needed it. And
Do you dance? Are you a dancer, Arnold? Do you know how to dance?
I can dance, but
You get down, yeah. Well, you danced on this show, so I don't know why I asked that.
on
Arnold's big dance move is like taking off his shirt and throwing it in the
That's some
air.
North Carolina shit.
He's done that several times during
That's North Carolina
Comic-Con.
shit.
Didn't you went to like the whiskey girl, and I remember you did that.
yeah, the bouncer was like, "You got to put your shirt back on." And then,
You're like, why?
I can't.
And I think-
actually can dance.
You know what?
Because
I think that was the same night that we met in Milana Vaintrub.
probably
Oh,
because we went to
from AT&T.
yeah. My cousins in Filipino culture, Mexicans, they have quinceañeras when they turn 15. Filipinos, when they have a debut or debutante when they turn 18, and they make a big old deal, and then they have like choreographed dance and everything, and then you have like her whole court, so you have like a bunch of her friends and guy friends as well. But the best dancers, they got to be with her because she's like the centerpiece. And when we're doing like these dance practices,
Did you say the centerpiece? Did you say the centerpiece?
Did I actually say that? The
Yeah,
centerpiece.
switch the F's with the P's and the P's with the F's.
Well, the teacher was like, he's like, we need to have you be her partner because I guess I
you're
was
just
just
that
the
good.
best out of all of them.
That's good stuff.
And so yeah, we did like swing. We did what do you call that? We
Charleston.
did a little bit of Charleston. We did salsa.
Charleston. Nice.
But
Didn't they let you do the shovel too?
no, that was just a partying part afterwards. But yeah, we're getting a little off track. But
No, you're good.
I'm not sure how.
That's what we do on this show. This is the piece de resistance of the Never Seen It podcast. Is that we'll talk about one thing and we'll veer off on a completely
Or
different
in Tagalog, the feast de resistance.
bringing it back.
What did
I like
throw
it.
me off was the blue character, the one that was singing the opera.
The opera singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
So I don't know. Did I fall asleep on that part, or was I not paying attention? So like, yeah, who was that? But they had the stones hidden in her.
Yeah.
It.
I think that was the point of that, right? She has this sort of emotional performance, and then it kind of like picks up a little bit, but then she gets shot, I think, and if I remember correctly, you just saw it, the stones were, or a stone was in, or what was it? Something was inside of her, right?
It was all of the stones.
Okay.
All of the stones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I don't understand. Like, I that was one of the things that even to this day like kind of confounds me. I don't know. I guess why did she hide the stones inside her? What was the point of that? I get that she was meant to be like protecting them, but like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Was it that like a superpower that she had to like
Well,
be able to
so
hide stuff like that? I don't
The
know.
internet machine says that she is a guardian of the stones. And Father Vito Cornelius, great name by the way, explains that the stones are entrusted only to those that the Mondoshuans, the ancient alien protectors, believe can keep them safe until the fifth element is ready to be reunited with them. The diva, as a respected and presumably incorruptible figure in the galaxy, was chosen to safeguard them. So there you go. So she was
It's
a guardian of these stones.
Which
A
kind of
guardian
makes
of
sense. Which kind of makes sense why she entrusts Corbin Dallas, to give the stones to, right? Like,
Yeah.
she sees him as like the protector of the stones because, you know, I think she sees that he loves Lilo in a way that he doesn't even understand until like the very end, you know?
Did she understand
So, I think-
that he had to love her in order for the thing to work? And that's what made me think of the Matrix.
I think he knew. I think Lilu knew, and that was part of the knowledge that she had. The protector of the stones, whoever was gonna give them, like, you know, it was like ultimately this love that was greater than just like, oh, I'm just gonna protect you, you know, like.
Love
But
is
here's the thing too. Like, one of the things that I kind of questioned, and I thought about it. I even like did a little bit of research on it, and like, do you think that Lilu is? Well, I didn't ask you. I'm not asking you guys, but I asked myself this question: is Lilu a manic pixie dream girl? You know.
a what?
And I did some research, and well, to give some context to Arnold, who, like, you're probably not very familiar with the idea of the manic pixie dream girl. It's this character that has no agency. It's usually a female character who is basically there to help a male character become the better person that he wants to be.
Did you ever see 500 Days of Summer, Arnold?
Oh, actually, I think so. Yeah.
With Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zoe
Yeah.
Deschanel?
Yeah.
So that's like the prime example of a manic pixie dream girl. It's that trope that Alex is talking about. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I looked it up, and like there's like they were saying like a lot of these articles were saying like, oh, we could see how some people could perceive Lilu as this manic pixie dream girl, but she does have agency. She's like the one she
Yeah.
chose to.
And she doesn't
love.
have bangs, so.
And she doesn't listen to the Smiths.
Yeah. Yeah, she's more punk rock than that,
No,
I
but
think.
can we go back to the opera lady for a
Um,
second? Because
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
thought that she
The
was,
diva.
because I don't really understand what you read to us from the internet, but I always thought she was just a different race. Like, we don't have that race here right now, but in that year, like in the future, that race will live here. But now I'm starting to think she's a personification of something else too, like because she was carrying all the stones. Like, what did you say? She's like a maternal thing? Like she's like a maternal like alien or something?
Like a guardian, and it sort of works out because she's able to smuggle them without being caught with them. And so it's a very stealthy thing where she's able to physically hide them inside of herself, and while moving through pretty precarious situations, and people would trust her that she would guard them with her life, which she does. And I think she just serves as a vehicle to be like to play that role in the story. And yeah, it's a very maternal thing, right? Because if you think about it thematically, it's like, you know, it's like a woman carrying a child for 9 months, right? It's like that sort of vibe, I think, and here she is carrying these very important
But is she just like a
things
blue,
inside of her.
is she
So
just like a blue
I guess you can kind
person?
of make
Like
that
there's
connection.
brown people and like different. Is she a blue person, or is she is
Oh.
she from another planet? Is she an alien?
I always assumed she was an alien, because the guys that work for Zorg are alien
Because
creature looking
about
dudes.
I'd say
y'all know about
right,
the blue
so-
people in West Virginia? They were exposed to too much
No.
silver in their water, and they're actually blue.
Oh,
So I didn't know if that's something
Yeah.
like that's where we're
That's
headed, because like people, because the pipes are fucked up, and like I don't know, people are consuming things that are toxic to them, and yeah, they're actually like blue like that.
Crazy.
she had
Well,
local
it's
alarms,
funny you
though.
bring that up
Or
because
no,
they're
she didn't
building
have-
all these AI data centers that are poisoning the local water table wherever they're building them, and it's like Flint, Michigan all over again, but even worse actually. But go ahead, Alex. Sorry.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
get too
she had
topical.
those like things that were like growing out of her, like they kind of seemed like
She reminded me of
a-
that alien
like
from
Ahsoka?
Star Wars.
No,
Yeah,
it's
like-
like
Yeah,
Robin Hood or
exactly.
something, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I think Luc Besson got a lot of inspiration from a lot of different sci-fi. I think, to me anyway, Star
I feel-
Trek, Star Wars.
I
You know?
I honestly feel like Luc Besson was trying to create a new universe, like possibly for like more stories.
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up because I was gonna say that this movie was not super well received at the time that when it was released. You had some critics saying, so for example, I was gonna just read some of these. A largely misfired European attempt to make an American-style sci-fi spectacular. The Fifth Element consists of a hodgepodge of elements that don't comfortably coalesce. And I'm like, wait a minute, but isn't that kind of the point? Isn't that kind of an interesting thing that you have a sort of a blend of American and European style of storytelling? Like, why is that a bad thing? Some of these critics, I tell you, they don't know what they're talking
Yeah.
about.
They wrote
So,
that at a
yeah.
back then.
Back then in 1997.
That's the funny thing is like, isn't that sort of also the idea of what the future should be, where like everything is kind of like a blur, like how we're talking about sexuality is like fluid, even nationalities are fluid, like there's like no such thing, like even what is that? Somebody was talking about like how in Star Trek, right? Star Trek, they don't have racism because they eliminated it long ago. Like you see aliens mixing with other aliens, like having children with other aliens, and and that was kind of like what's the creator's name of Star Trek?
Not Rod Serling. Was it Rod Serling?
I can't remember, but anyways, his
I can't
vision
remember.
of the future of like space.
Gene
travel.
Roddenberry. Rod Serling did
Gene
Twilight
Roddenberry.
Zone.
Yeah,
Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah.
Gene Roddenberry.
Arnold
he
knew that.
like he had pictured this sort of like future where it wasn't like you didn't have a second thought about people like intermixing.
He had a very optimistic outlook on what future society could be,
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
kind of like what the Fifth Element is, kind of, in a way. There's still battles and people struggling for power, but it's not over like this sort of like fictionally made wall between like people with dark skin and light skin, or people from Mars versus Jupiter or whatever. It's like actually about resources and a threat from the from far off that is actually wanting to destroy everything.
And that's why this movie is somehow very relevant today, just looking at it from that point of view, just given the current cultural and political landscape we're in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Gene Roddenberry was too optimistic, and he couldn't have predicted just how bad
No,
things
but
could
if you
get.
really think about, you're talking about Star Trek or The Fifth Element?
I mean,
feel
just
like
in
it
general,
always, like if you're really like we were younger, but like if you're really thinking about it and like paying attention, like it's always been fucked up, like before now too, like you know what I mean? It's not ever been equal for everybody. So that's kind of what they're showing. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. You know, a
always
lot of young
been
people
always been
look back, are looking at the '90s and thinking like, "Oh, the '90s were this great
Oh, yeah.
time," and they were, but it also wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. There was still a lot of inequality even in the
Well,
'90s. Like we didn't.
let's be fair. A lot of these countries, these like civilizations that had not yet seen or made contact with like white Europeans. Once those white Europeans like tried to colonize or they made contact with these societies, that's when things went awry because it was always about power, stealing resources, you know, and that's what tainted a lot of these like societies, you know, like they came into these countries and a lot of them had like pretty healthy and like functioning without any sort of need for like money, right? Capital. It was a lot of it was done barter system, like trade, or you need this, okay, I'll give you this, and there was nothing asked for in return. It was because, oh, you know how to make shoes, I'll make shoes for you. Oh, you know how to cook, I will cook for you. It was never like, I'll make shoes, but you got to give me something in return, you know. Like even that barter system is like wasn't like a thing.
They
you know?
just
like,
share.
that was also still
You know, communism is the big dirty C word. So, unfortunately, not the other C word, which is capitalism.
Oh, I was thinking something different.
I'm not trying to get too political. We're not doing politics on this show. There's enough podcasts to do that. Go listen to one of those. We're only talking about movies.
Yeah, we're not talking
Well,
politics. Going back to the blue alien, I definitely think that the alien was democratic. What did you think?
Yeah. No, I think she voted for Nader. Honestly, we're being real with ourselves. She would have voted for Nader. Okay, guys. Well, hey, I think we did it. I think that's been a great wrap up of this. Arnold, did you have any other? Oh, you know what? Let's save it for your final thoughts, right? So we'll
I just have a
do
final
that.
thought, and I'll save it for my final
You
thoughts.
give your But yeah, that's The Fifth Element. It's a great sci-fi ride from the late '90s. That if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's very much a space opera. It's got a little bit of everything: slapstick, high fashion that crash together and somehow make it all coalesce into something that I think is actually a great movie. It's a little messy and weird, a little over the top, but I think that's what makes it unforgettable. That's part of its charm. Kind of like this show. And all these decades later, we're still talking about it. It still feels fresh, fun, and like unlike anything else that's out there right now, right? Everything out there right now is not great. But, you know, this movie, I think, stands out as, like with The Matrix, as a sci-fi film that we're going to keep talking about for years to come. So that's The Fifth Element. Let's go around the room really quick. Alex, I'll start with you. Let's get your final thoughts, your socials. Anything else you want to yap about?
You could find me at Daily Dares on Instagram, and then you can go by Instagram bio and find the link to all the other stuff I'm involved with, including Collectible Galaxy on Depop. Go buy some stuff from me, please. I really like this movie a lot. I don't know if you remember it, Arnold. I had the poster for Fifth Element in my room. That I got it from when I was working at Video Depot.
Oh,
nice.
What's that?
Your room was covered with posters. I remember that.
Oh yeah,
like
I had Fargo.
There was no white you can see. It was just like from one poster to the next.
That's cool.
Yeah, I had too many posters. I even had posters of movies I hadn't seen yet. Although I would eventually see them, but like I would put them up just because I was like, oh, that's a cool looking poster. But yeah, some interesting notes. Like I was saying, the casting in this movie was like really well done, including Bjork's ex boyfriend Tricky, who plays Zorg's right-hand man, who ends up getting blown up by because he.
It all goes back to Bjork. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, but he partnered with like Bjork to produce some songs like right around that era too. So, hey, shout out to Bjork. I love
Shout out
all
to
your
Bjork.
work. Let's see. The comedy in this movie is great. Like the comedy, I wish Marvel would actually take note of how to do comedy in a film from The Fifth Element. Like it wasn't like so like, haha, punchline, you know, it was like sometimes a visual, like comedy, and it wasn't like so like, get it, haha. It was like, oh, that's funny, you know. It was clever. It was very clever, and I really feel like a lot more. I feel like sci-fi and superhero movies could take a cue from the style of comedy that Luc Besson put into The Fifth Element. There's a lot of stuff, I feel like, a lot of modern sci-fi, you know, superhero movies could take from, you know, like, hey, let's take risks in just making it look very surreal. Like, I think Superman, the new Superman movie, is the first like superhero movie to kind of go that direction, you know, like they made Superman look like a comic book movie, and this looks like a comic book. It reminds me of like a lot of the cool sci-fi manga, Japanese manga.
I love the color palette.
Yeah, it's like so vibrant, and again, like you talk about it all the time, Adrian, put more color into the world. Like it's like beige and stuff like that. It's like it's funny. I started a new job. I'm kind of my dress code is kind of relaxed somewhat, but the rest of the front of house, they have to wear these like beiges and like neutral tones, like
Junko jeans.
Like, yeah, Jinko. Yeah. Well, a few people do wear those, but like. They're like
Ben
beige,
Davis.
Brown.
Where's Donnie?
Yeah, right. But you know, I feel like, you know, hey, movies again. Let's pop it up with some more color, man. I miss that in film. You know.
You know what it is that nothing's shot on film anymore. Film used to be about color, and since we've gone digital, let's just color grade everything bluish gray.
But also just like the creativity
That's the
in
problem.
general. Like they made all this shit up. Like they made all, like, you know what I mean? And some of these things and the flying, like, that's so cool. That really took a lot. Like I don't think anybody does that anymore.
Yeah, nobody really does that. I mean, comic books, they certainly still do. Like there's, you know, that's the sad thing too, is like with comic books, I remember there was a time like during the like 2010s, you know, when producers, I read a story somewhere that during that time, especially in Hollywood, producers every week would go into comic book shops. This is when like everybody was trying to like find the big new comic book movie or TV show, and they would go into the comic book stores and buy an issue of every book and try to be like, is this the next new series? You know what I mean? And that's kind of like a good thing to do. Like you're trying to find original stories that are like unique and like awesome. Yet at the same time, a lot of those people, they would buy these stories and just sit on them. Like there was that comic book called Why the Last Man. Sorry, I'm going on a rant about like the industry right now, but Why the Last Man? They bought I can't remember. Some studio bought it, and they sat on it for like years, and it was such a great story. And then they finally made the show, and then it didn't perform well, and then they just canned it. I was like, it's awful. Like the things that these people do. So it's like, but like if Hollywood gave the more, you know, money. I don't know. Just give it more like more of a presence to give like better, well-told stories that are risk-taking. You get like people invested more. Like there's so much. Let these people tell these cool stories. Don't handcuff them. To like, oh, this marketing research team, like they didn't like this because it was. Then it becomes this like sort of like pared down version of like, and
that's the problem.
Yeah,
we let the marketers take control.
Yeah.
Who's ever respected anything by a marketer?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
And that's so cool. And when here's the thing, you think about this. You said The Fifth Element didn't perform well in the theaters, right? But the cool thing about that era, it had a second life on VHS, and it probably did crazy well.
Like Office Space.
Office Space. Speed Racer was another one. It didn't do well in the theaters, but because of the DVD, it did super well. Like I remember that. Like, I was working for FYE, I believe at the time, and this was like the last vestiges of like DVD, and like I remember people coming in and buying that movie like crazy. I was like, really, was it that good? I heard it wasn't, but then I guess it was. And I ended up buying it myself. Yeah, it was really good. But I think Fifth Element, I'm glad it had that second life on VHS because that's how I discovered it. I didn't go to watch it in the theaters when it first came out. I watched it on VHS, and I loved it. Even with like some of the stuff I didn't comprehend until now. It still was just a fun movie, even with like I said, like the stuff that I didn't understand. For me, I gave it I think it was like a 3.5 or a 4. And yeah.
On Letterboxd?
On Letterboxd.
Nice.
Doesn't it go to 10 or am I tripping? Oh, okay.
It's out of 5.
It's out of 5.
Back to what you were saying earlier, dude. Like, there's like the Aeon Flux comic book, and her world is like completely different.
Yeah.
But like in the movie, like she was just not the anime series, but in the movie she was just like in our world. But like in the book, she lives in a different type world. But and they could have done that. They had the opportunity to do that. But I don't know if it's budget, like marketing, like I don't know what goes on, but they just didn't do that. And I'm like, that was the cool. Like that's what the part I wanted to see. Like that's one of the coolest parts.
Yeah. Like they don't get what makes a character cool. I think they see that something is popular, but that it just doesn't connect. Like these studio execs
super
are just
shallow
dumb,
too. Like they'll be like, let's get the girl with big tits, and it's like maybe she sucks at acting, but like that's where their mind is. It's like, dude, like what about quality?
Yeah.
Don't talk about Sydney Sweeney that way. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it does feel like these Hollywood executives are swiping through IP like they're on Tinder. Like, nope, next.
Yeah.
Right swipe.
I should not be a exec.
No, you would definitely pick a big titty girl.
Not Arnold.
What?
I would. I know talent when I look for talent. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Tina Explorers at Comic-Con.
I don't even know what that is.
Couldn't find her.
Arnold does.
Alex found her. What? So did Lance.
At least it's not as bad as Mitt Romney, where he's talking about binders of women. You know what I mean? Just binders full of. Who says that anyway?
Binders.
Alex, what else you got for us? Sorry.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
That's it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Where do people find you? What's your socials?
Oh, I already said it.
Oh, nice. I'm not paying attention. I'm sorry. Amber, let's go to you next. Final thoughts. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at that Denver girl or at Millennial Matrix Media, and I give this movie a 5 because it's like one of my top 5 like favorite movies. Like I know there's some things that didn't make sense, but I just feel like down to the makeup, like it's the makeup, the hair, like like they have the Orville and they have like other space shows, but like people just look like regular people. Like they really transformed. They take you to a place that doesn't exist. Like they really created this place and like transformed everybody. Like the makeup, the lashes, like the hair, like the wardrobes, like the sets. Like I feel like even when you go back in the ancient times, like with the in like the tomb or like the temple or whatever that was, like that too, like was done so well. Like they have like those, they wear like those brown thing, like those freaking is it Han Solo? I don't know. They wear the brown things that are like Han Solo.
Is it
The vest.
like a burlap?
Obi-Wan.
The light.
They wear those, and then they're like, yes, the
Oh,
cloaks.
the cloak.
You know, that's
Cool.
what they wore back then, like Jesus type stuff. And then they had the drawings, like that's just like so cool. And then like they remember they had like I think they had lanterns in there or something like that. So like I don't know, I just feel like that's so cool. Like
think
they
you're
did
right.
it like multiple times in the film, and like I'm so impressed by that. And I want, like we were just talking about, like I want more movies to be like that. And it's just so like it's like peak creativity to me.
I think on that note, I think it's easy to say this movie was kind of ahead of its time because of like, how we're talking about the way it was received at the time versus, how people feel
It's
about it
ahead of
nowadays.
its time, and it's like its own time too. Honestly, it's like nobody's doing that now, and
Yeah.
nobody was doing that before. Like in my opinion, this is a totally unique thing.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Like you look at everybody involved in that; they were kind of ahead of the time. Jean-Paul Gaultier, fashion. He's still ahead of his time. Like even to this day. I mean, I don't know if he still designs, but like, like you look at his design work, it's futuristic through and through. Like it's just like oozes like futurism.
Yep.
All great thoughts. All great thoughts. Arnold, did you have anything more, Amber? Or okay, cool. Well, Arnold, now we're on to you, my friend.
Uh-oh. All right.
You are the only person that hasn't seen it. You watched it. You're fresh off the presses. Give us your final thoughts.
Well, the last couple things in addition to it. There was one other thing. Yeah, am I losing it? I think I lost it. But okay, but the one thing, like towards the remember how she would like learn and she would
We're gonna need a food sponsor on the show. God damn it! I'm telling you right now. Domino's. I don't care who it is.
even Liquid Death.
We're
Come on,
already
man.
putting on paper
Check your
plates and
DMs.
Tupperware,
Oh.
Dixie, come on.
so only the best.
Yeah, let's get some Dixie in here.
Only the best between Arnold.
I thought it was interesting. Towards the end, she's still learning things. She picks W in the alphabet, and then she types in war, and then you see her, it shows all kinds of different things of wars happening, and then just the sadness that you see in her face, and tears coming down her eyes, and that it was just what war brings, just a lot of sadness, but what conquered and what saved everybody was the love. Was at the very last second, Bruce Willis, he did he kiss her, and that's when like the magic happened with all the elements with the fifth element. I thought that was a beautiful a beautiful part, and that was one of my. There was I believe there was one more thought prior to that, but this was the main final thought that I had. I probably should have wrote it down or something. But very fun movie, very imaginative, creative, and a world that I think definitely could have been built and done more on, by maybe taken up by some other company. Definitely grew a huge following of people who are even to this day fans. I was looking through my phone to see because I know I took a picture. There was somebody who cosplayed as Lilu with the orange hair but with the stripes as her costume, walking in front of the convention center, and I probably fumbled the phone like, oh gosh, my finger. I'm like, all right, I think I got it, but then my finger was over the lens, so that's why. I was searching in photos. I was searching girl with orange hair, skimpy cosplay costume. I was looking through all these different ones, and I guess I didn't get it, but really great movie. Wait, did you? Oh, you got it.
Nice.
What year was that?
It was this year.
Oh, well, the one I captured was years ago, or tried to.
I mean, every year they have
that one lives up
at least
here,
one person.
right,
There's
Arnold?
always one person that does Lilu. So
In the heads.
in your memory prison.
Yeah. My overall rating, if this movie made me think of The Matrix, and The Matrix is one of my all-time favorite movies, and The Matrix to me is a 5. But then this was because it had a lot more like comedy and like I have mentioned at the beginning, like the kind of like playful music and kind of that time though, and so. But I really enjoyed it, and I give this a Letterboxd solid 3.5 out of 5. I definitely rewatched it, high rewatchability, and I kind of did mention about how I screwed myself over with the kettle corn.
Well, let me slow you down. Because now we're entering the part of the show that's my favorite part of the show. And we're calling it the Arnold Snooze-o-meter. All right, Arnold, it's that part of the show where you give us your snooze-o-meter on the movie. So where does the fifth element lie on the snooze-o-meter?
If I would give it a 0 Z rating, and like I had mentioned earlier, it was a self-inflicted.
I don't know why I did that.
Self-inflicted snooze-o-meter snooze action that I did to myself, yeah. I told myself like don't do it, and I'm just like a little bit. Come on, bag's gone. Next thing you know. Kind of insane. Insanity, like you know not to do it, but then you tell yourself like, no, maybe this time I won't fall asleep. I'm just gonna because my neck kind of hurts. I'm gonna rest my head a little bit. And
inside of you there are two Arnolds: Sleepy Arnold and Hungry Arnold. I feel like and your life is dictated by one of those.
There's
two.
a couple of other Arnolds too, but we won't
get.
mention some of the other ones.
No, yeah, we won't get into those. Not tonight.
I feel like at Comic-Con, those are all of them are on full display.
Yes. Yes.
The full breadth of Arnold is displayed at Comic-Con. See, you don't need a costume, Arnold. You are just you. You know what I mean?
Am I a vibe?
Arnold is Arnold. Someday you are a vibe. Someday someone's gonna dress up as you and go to Comic-Con. You know what I'm saying? So.
No.
Rip their shirt off and do the helicopter.
Yeah. And then the shovel.
Like
Or just be him like carrying around a plate, going like a whole big old pie.
While doing the roller coaster.
Oh,
The
yes.
shovel with like shoveling pie into his mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, wouldn't that be fun? Yeah.
That's a great gesture to make. No.
Yeah. Oh, and
Awesome.
everyone, y'all, you can find me and on Instagram. I'm at Arnie Colego. That's where I'm at on TikTok. Same name, everything. Arnie Colego. What do you call the Instagram one? Threads. yeah, you see everything I'm up to from the podcast stuff to cooking to eating to walking the dog. Yeah, everything. I've been posting I've been trying to do a little bit more videos and stuff that would post to the feed, but I don't know. Stuff that I just posted the story is just quick and easy, and that's kind of like what I had the time for and what I'm able to fit these days.
Hey, with the full-time job and everything, I mean, I get it,
Yeah.
but you always got to make the time. And you do
Full-time
make
job,
the time.
mukbangs,
Mukbangs,
try to figure out what to eat
Diddy
next.
trial.
Man, that's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a full-time
Food prep.
job.
No, that was.
Maybe some more pupusas.
Wait, but Arnie, that was a relevant point that you made. I forgot about that part where she was like crying, but I think that with you talking about that, like I feel like this is really like actually like a commentary on like what like only love can save us, and like look what people do to like this. It's not just that's what war is. It's like look what people do. Like to be so nasty,
Yeah.
That's even the theme in Interstellar, which is another great film about love. The love between a parent and their child. So yeah, and by the way, in the Avengers movie, going back to that, Thanos sacrifices his daughter in order to get that stone. He has to sacrifice the one person he loves to get that stone, and I'm like, that's such an interesting
It's biblical.
running
It's
theme
biblical.
here about love and yeah. Thank you.
Sacrifice.
All right.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
good stuff,
You-
Arnold. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I pretty much already gave my final thoughts, but like I said, this is one of. Oh, did you have something
Oh no,
more?
I was about to say, and all we have left is you, Mr. Books Too Big.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorite movies. It's fun. It's weird. It's very dynamic between all the characters, the story. I would put this up there with like one of the top sci-fi movies of the '90s. Going back to The Matrix, I would put it up there with. Matrix is a much better movie in a lot of other ways, but still, definitely up there. And after discussing it tonight, I already had it rated on Letterboxd. I had 3.5, but I'm going to bump it up to 4. Nice even 4 on Letterboxd. You can find me on Letterboxd at Boots Too Big, and you can find the show everywhere. We're on everything, guys. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Threads. We're on Blue Sky, Facebook, X. Visit the neverseenitpodcast.com. Email us, podcast.neverseenit@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Bruce Willis movie? We've talked about Hudson Hawk and Die Hard on this show. I love both those movies as well. Hudson Hawk was fantastic. And now, obviously poor Bruce Willis can't really do stuff anymore, but hey, he's left a long-lasting legacy, I think, in the movie world. So definitely like to hear from you about that. Subscribe to us, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts from. If you like the show, share it or leave a review. Big thanks to Mr. Kyle Mapson of Burn Cycle for our intro music. You can follow Kyle on Instagram at selfies_food_and_pets. Thanks for listening. Do we have any? I know Justin's not here tonight, but do we have any final thoughts? Anyone?
Happy birthday, Justin. Hope
Hey.
you're having a good time.
Happy birthday,
A
Justin.
happy belated birthday.
Yep.
Yes. Don't get too crazy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that a Labubu?
Oh no, that was Chris Tucker and Lilu. Chris Tucker's
Oh,
and then Lilu. I'm cool.
Oh yeah.
that's my favorite scene when he puts the microphone up to Bruce Willis's mouth. And he's like, yeah. And everyone's like, such a good one. All right.